Hello everyone, I'm here with Dr. Garcia. He's our special guest today. He was a University of Florida anesthesiology professor and also in Michigan. And now he started his own ER clinic here in Jacksonville, Florida. So we're going to talk to him and get to know him better.
Thank you, Dr. Garcia. I appreciate it very much.
So thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tell us about Pure.
Well, Pure is it was an interesting project. As you know, I was a professor at the university for a long time at Michigan State and University of Florida. And then I had a friend, Dr. Shi. I don't know if you know Dr. Shi. He ended up, changing to the dark side of emergency. He came to Jacksonville, and after I became I got a promotion, as a professor. I took a sabbatical and I decided to learn more about emergency medicine. Spent a lot of time with him and kind of really liked it. I liked it. Decided to move to Jacksonville, start doing anesthesia to the area. I still provide anesthesia for the area, but also start doing more and more emergency to a point that I said, I think I should get my own place so I can be able to work in emergency every day. So that's kind of how the project came around, and then we found this building, which is close to the high school, the Twin Lake High School, just in front of us here. And then we decided to continue to this endeavor of going from a emergency clinic that we couldn't really see cases 24 hours because we couldn't find doctors to help me out. So we used to see cases only until midnight, and then after midnight we had the nurses, take care of it, and I was on call. We finally in December have now full staff. We have 4 doctors now. We are able to get 24 hours coverage, so it's been good.
When it comes to starting a business, because this is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
There's the financial aspect of it, there's the labor part of it, there's the marketing part of it, which has been the most challenging for you.
I think that the most challenging was to try to figure out everything that I needed, so I wish, a lot of banks have that for you, when you're trying to get a loan. The banks kind of have a startup, program, which was very helpful. Like, what kind of license do I need? What do I need to do, to get it started? The first part that was hard for me is figuring out those things. Okay, what do I need before I even can start a business? Obviously, finding a location is important, but also finding, okay, how much money do I need? When you apply for a bank loan, usually they obviously know this much better than you, and you will learn on that. They usually have this package like, look, tell me what you want to do, how much money you expect to make, which were all things that I really didn't know. I needed to kind of figure out, man, I don't know how many clients we'll be seeing, what is the expected for emergency. So I needed to do some digging to figure those things out, So I think that's the first thing. If you're going to open a business, you're going to need to find those things. Okay, where is your location? How many hours you're going to be working? How many clients you think you're going to be seeing? Coming up with the amount that you think you're going to be making in a month, is important for the bank, and so those things took me a while to figure it out.
When you were planning a set date, was it about that date, or did you have complications?
Oh, a lot of complications. Unfortunately, the start time, it was just after COVID where things were crazy.
Oh, it started COVID.
Yeah, it was after COVID, and all the building companies were super busy, and we end up with not that great of a business, a building company. They delay us almost a whole year.
1 year?
Yeah, and it quite more cost than it was first projected, so it was not great. A lot of mistakes were made.
This makes you stronger.
Yeah, it freaks you out, right? Because you come in thinking, okay, let's see how is it going today. Oh, wow, the radiologist placed on the wrong spot. Or, oh, this size doesn't fit the table, and then things need to be broken down again and replace it. It's like, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I don't know how many people out there have got the same problems, when we built. But I tell you, it was a lot of delays, so expect delays. I didn't expect it a whole year of a delay, but...
Well, I'm glad you got things working again.
Yeah.
Tell us, what was your first emergency?
Actually, the first week it was terrible. We didn't do a lot. But I luckily and not luckily, we got a parvo puppy.
Oh,
And it was a parvo puppy, very sick. He stayed here for almost 6 days, but he made it. You know, he was very sick. You know, super leukopenic. He's amazing. He was doing pretty poorly, but then really got poorly for 2-3 days, and then finally he came back to to life, which was amazing. You know, so
well, I'm glad he made
successful case. You know, the first bad case that was successful.
That's a good sign that you saved the first one.
That's right. That's right.
But moving on, Dr. Garcia was nice enough to do the next CE for us. When it comes to anesthesiology, what's new? What's going on? What are you thinking that people should know?
So, I mean, anesthesia is becoming, in the last couple of decades, safer and safer, and I think that the continuum really, like regional anesthesia is the way to go for me. We use a lot of ultrasound guided anesthesia nowadays. There are a couple of new drugs, so dexmedetomidine in the last few years have been marketed with a vasodilator to try to help to decrease the side effects of the drug, and I think that it has been used. Sometimes the issue that we will talk about on lecture as well, I don't want to spoil too much, is that this vasodilator, if it does cause hypotension, now you need to know what to do next, to try to fix that. So there is a couple, good and bads about it, like any other drug. I feel that multimodal anesthesia continues to be the way to go. We departed a lot in the last 10 years from how heavily we used to use opioids, and now we're relying much more on local anesthetics like lidocaine CRIs, sodium channel blockers CRIs, and regional anesthesia. And I think that is going to be more and more the future, of anesthesia.
Well, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
You will see most universities nowadays. I have done a lot of courses for university professors because, regional anesthesia is very big in humans already, and it's becoming more and more the way to go. You're blocking a complete region of a body, and now you require way less anesthesia to a procedure. And that is becoming pretty much the way to go in the university. I mean, orthopedic procedures at UF, from the last 7 years I was there, pretty much we use very minimal opioid, and mostly we block like for a TPLO, you block that leg. We usually do a saphenous femoral or saphenous block with a sciatic block, and the animal won't feel that leg for hours. So you could hack that leg away, and they do the surgery with no really stimulation to the body. The animal wakes up, have no idea it has even a leg. So it's
interesting.
Great. Yeah.
Maybe you should cover that.
Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. Regional anesthesia is the issue with regional anesthesia in private practice is you need a very specialized person to do the blocks and a very expensive equipment. They got to be high definition ultrasounds with linear probes, specific needles to do that. So it is pretty costly. So if you're not a person that's just doing this kind of procedures, it becomes tricky. But I certainly have used quite a bit of that kind of equipment with Dr. Nyhouse, for example, as a surgeon. I used to do a lot of TPLOs with him and block the legs. I mean, you probably should ask his opinion how he feels, but I do like that a lot.
I'll ask him. So to wrap things up, Dr. Garcia is now 24/7, and what should veterinarians or the community know when they're going to bring an animal when it comes to referral or things that they should bring with them?
So for the primary that is doing trying to bring an animal in, trying to send one of their clients in, we certainly would appreciate a call, because we love to have a direct communication with the primary. Sometimes that is not possible, which is okay, but if you can, that would be great. Things that the client should bring with them, they don't need to call for a consult. They can just rush in here. There is no they don't need to book an appointment or anything like that. If the primary has done some blood work and X-rays, sending to our email or to with the client for us to be able to see and not need to repeat those things is good. You know, it sometimes makes it difficult when the client comes in and but the blood work was sent out, because if the blood work hasn't come back yet, now we kind of like, well, we might need to repeat this blood work. We feel terrible, you know, because now the animal already had that blood work done, but the results are not yet released. So sometimes on those cases we might need to repeat it. But most of the time, if the primary has done all that work, then we don't need to repeat it. If they send it with the client, that's very useful, you know. But a communication, a call or an email at least to communicate that their client's coming, what they expect, is kind of nice.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Of course, thank you
We
so much.
really look forward to your CE.
Yeah,
and good luck
it.
with
I'm excited.
Pure.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it very much.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more content.
Thank you.